This is the biggest comparison of the year, by far the most important, because we have the Land Cruiser 70 Series versus the all-new Ford Ranger Super Duty. The Land Cruiser 70 Series has been on sale for literally decades. It has had a complete monopoly, but it is long in the tooth. Whereas Ford has made this to, in particular, attack the Land Cruiser 70 Series, but they still have things that they have to work on, like perceived reliability. Today, we are going to ultimately compare these things. We are going to check out their exterior, their pricing, their interiors. We're going to take these things off-road pretty hardcore at this proving ground. Then we're going to drive them. We're going to launch them, see who is faster. We'll give you our final thoughts. Should you be buying a Land Cruiser 70 Series or the new Ford Ranger Super Duty?
Let's get into it. Let's bloody do it.
Okay, let's talk about pricing, particularly for the Land Cruiser 70 Series. It has been horrendous because you are buying what is a dinosaur for so much money. This thing starts in the LC79. Obviously, this is the single cab. It's all we could get for this test. 89,000 Australian dollars drive away for the base workmate. If you step up to the GXL, you're spending $93,000 on the road. If you want the dual cab, it's only an extra $2,000. So you'd be nuts not to get that unless you really need the extra payload. But you got to remember, though, that this thing does come with a tray
As standard. But you still have to bloody twist the key.
Kind of charm.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Whereas the Ranger Super Duty, you can only get it in base trim. If you want it as a single cab, it's going to cost you $97,680 drive away. To be fair, that is when you include a $6,000 tray, because as standard, it actually doesn't come with a tray. The cheapest one is about $6,000. If you want the dual cab that we have here, about $103,000 drive away. A bit more.
Bloody hell.
So it is a lot of money for what is a base model Ford Ranger. However, as you'll see, this thing is pretty well spec'd. So for pricing, as it awesomely begins to rain, the winner is the Land Cruiser 70 Series, about 10 grand less expensive.
But that doesn't mean it's great value for money.
No, as you'll see. All right, I love when it starts pissing down with rain. Let's talk about how these things look. Frankly, I really like the way that the Land Cruiser looks.
I mean, it looks great with the circular headlights.
When they did the facelift for this, I think a lot of people are a bit iffy, but it really does look a lot better. And the cool thing about the Land Cruiser 70 Series is that the one you buy today is the same as the one you bought 40 years ago. They haven't aged. They have a really cool presence to them. There is no doubt that they look really good. Bright LED lights there as well. I like their heritage badge. It's a pretty aggressive bumper, isn't it?
Don't step on that.
No. Whereas the Super Duty, it is all new, of course. It actually fits into about the profile of a Ford Ranger Raptor. This thing is absolutely enormous, so we'll talk about it in just a second, but got these LED lights here. Bright enough LED lights, they're okay. They're not like top of the range or anything, but they're pretty good, about the same as the Land Cruiser 70 Series, to be fair. You have this big ass bumper here at the front. Underneath, both of these cars have steel bash plates, but this, it's actually 4mm thick steel, so it's really, really thick steel. And you'll see that when we take this thing off-road. Under the skin, this only shares about 9% with the regular Ford Ranger. Everything has been thickened, everything has been changed to make this thing an absolute beast off-road.
It's been injecting. Bro, my favorite part is the bonnet.
Yeah, the Super Duty spelt out there is pretty cool. Here's another thing actually as well. So this snorkel here is actually designed by Safari. It comes as standard with the Super Duty, same as the snorkel on the Land Cruiser 70 Series. However, this is fully enclosed, whereas on the Land Cruiser 70 Series, it's not actually completely sealed. So as a result, the wading depth of this is about 700mm. That is 850mm. That makes a big difference off-road.
Hopefully we won't have to find that out.
All right, coming to the side, listen to these dimensions. So Land Cruiser 79 is 5,245mm long, 1,870mm wide, 1,945mm tall, and its wheelbase is 3,180mm. It's also got a front track width of 155mm, but the rear track width trails the front at 1,460mm. And so actually dimensionally, this thing is shorter and smaller in pretty much every way versus a Ford Ranger Super Duty. But the real issue is the fact that this thing does have a wider front track than the rear track. Why does that make a difference? Because when you are off-road, essentially your front wheels are wider, they're taking more of the load than the rear, which is kind of just trailing at the back. Why did they do this?
I don't know.
Because when they put the V8 engine in this, they actually had to make the front wider to accommodate it. However, the V8 doesn't exist anymore. It's now only a 4-cylinder you can get it with. So,
but it's still a wide 4-cylinder.
Yeah. So one of the first mods that you will do to your Land Cruiser 70 Series, if you are serious about taking it off-road, is you actually widen the rear track width to match the front. It's silly. I don't know why they do this. At least you do get all-terrain tires. These are 16-inch alloy wheels. They're 5-stud as well. We'll come back to why that's important in just a second. It is a live axle though, front and rear, so keep that in mind. You've also got these very metal feeling side steps, so they do, well, they're quite renowned for bending off-road, but I guess you could just bash them back into place. Check this out. So obviously no keyless entry or go. It's about as old school as it comes. which some people do love,
That's
to be fair.
genuinely never changed.
Yeah. The other thing too, these mirrors, boy, are they annoying.
Terrible.
I don't care what anyone says. Yes, it's easy. You can just bolt them into place. However, the one on the left was never bolted down properly. Don't know what's going on with it. It keeps falling forward on the highway and you have to change it by getting out of the car. So annoying and actually kind of dangerous. Let's talk about the Super Duty. All right, coming to the side of the Ford Ranger Super Duty, there's a lot that's changed here.
This doesn't even look like a Ranger at all.
So the Super Duty is 5,470 millimeters long. It's 2,032 millimeters wide. This thing is big. It's 1,985 millimeters tall, and its wheelbase is 3,270 millimeters. The front and rear track width are both 1,710 millimeters, so already wider than what you'll find on the front of the Land Cruiser 70
So I can't
Series.
fishtail in my Ranger Super Duty?
Not as easily, not as easily. You're also going to notice a lot of differences versus a regular Ranger. First of all, this whole area is very square and cut out, and that is functional. It's so you get more clearance here in the wheels when the wheels do articulate up. You've also got 8 stud wheels here. They're from an F250. The reason they do this, by the way, is not just for like, so they can say it. It's actually because there's a lot of torque on the wheels here when you are at the 8-ton GCM of this vehicle. So if you ever get that high, you definitely want to have 8 studs. It just means that actually for the longevity of this vehicle, those kind of things have been future-proof. You would have to upgrade the Land Cruiser 70 Series to even match that. I also like these. These are massive tires as well. They're
general grabbers?
The general grabbers, which is fantastic. They are really good off-road tires, and they're like almost double the width, not far off versus that of the Land Cruiser 70 Series. So that's kind of crazy. You have these.
They're pretty plastic, to be honest.
Still pretty plastic.
Yeah.
So they're going to crack off-road, unless I'm somehow wrong. Let us know in the comment section. You got keyless entry and go tinted privacy glass. This thing does feel far more refined, frankly, and causes so many more features versus the Land Cruiser 70.
Especially the side mirrors.
Oh yeah, true. And they're actually usable. So in terms of looks, you might be thinking, well, 100% is going to go to the Super Duty, but actually I'm giving it a tie, and I'll tell you why. If you go for the Land Cruiser 70 Series, you are getting something that literally will not age. It's got that really cool, very boxy off-roadery look. If you go for the Ranger Super Duty, I think functionally it is so much better. Having said that, it is still kind of like a current generation ute.
Yeah.
How will it look in 20 years time? It'll probably look a little bit old, whereas this
That's true.
will probably look the same as the Land Cruiser 70 Series they're selling then.
Probably.
Some plug-in
Except
hybrid,
it'll be half the price.
hydrogen. Yeah. So yes, tie. Now, to keep things fair, we're just going to compare dual cab specs to each other. The difference is really only kilograms when you look at the single cab versus dual cab, but it doesn't even matter because the dual cab version of the Land Cruiser 79 has a payload of 1,310 kilograms. It's got a GVM of 3,510 kilograms and a GCM of 7,010 kilograms. It also can only tow 3.5 ton. Compare that to the dual cab of the Ford Ranger Super Duty, and this thing just demolishes it in terms of its on-paper specs. There is no doubt that this is far more practical as long as you get it with your tub.
I mean, this is the entire point of the Ranger Super Duty.
So its payload is 1,825 kilograms for the dual cab. And actually, to be fair, if you go for the single cab, it is close to 2 tons of payload. Wild.
Jeez.
It has a 4.5 ton brake towing capacity, an 8,000 kilogram GCM or gross combined mass, and a GVM of 4,500 kilograms.
So yeah, not even close.
It literally is not even a competition. You can build up your Land Cruiser 70 Series to kind of get to closer figures than this, but the reality is this thing has a thickened chassis, a thickened frame. It's got the front differential out of a Ford Transit Jumbo. It's got the rear differential out of a Ford Bronco Raptor. It is essentially a hodgepodge of parts that they've taken to make this thing strong. You would have to do a lot to a Land Cruiser 70 Series to build it up to anywhere near the capabilities of the Super Duty.
And to be honest, I think I trust the engineering of Ford versus your mate's mechanic.
It's true. So in terms of practicality, the winner, hands down, is the Ford Ranger Super Duty. Now, a lot of people actually like to buy a Land Cruiser 70 Series for the fact,
I always do that.
that it is so basic and simple. Let's put the key and turn it on. So there is no frills with this interior. Obviously, stretchy materials absolutely everywhere. They did upgrade this thing with a HiLux steering wheel, but it's still plastic. This center console was updated as well, so they have a storage space for your phone. You even get 2 USB-C fast chargers. But check out this infotainment display. It couldn't be more basic.
You know what? At least you get Apple CarPlay.
At least you get Apple CarPlay, but there are no reverse cameras. There are no sensors in this car. It really is almost offensive how basic this vehicle is. And a lot of people do like that because when you are in literal central Australia, sometimes just bolting things in and out is better than trying to play with electrical gremlins. Having said that, it's super, super basic in
Yeah,
here.
it's a very analog experience in here.
And even though this isn't the dual cab, in the dual cabs we have reviewed in the past, because we've reviewed these about 3,000 times, the back seats are really not great either. For such a large vehicle, you have almost no space in the second row, which is why it probably makes sense that it is less than 100 kilos heavier than this LC79 single cab. It's not much different. Whereas, step inside the Super Duty, already the ergonomics are far better.
You didn't hit your knee?
Sounds better. We have push to start. We have Ford's Sync infotainment display, which yes, has had its gremlins over time, and sometimes for whatever reason, even driving it here today, my Apple CarPlay has just not worked very well. But hey, at least you don't just get two speakers downwards firing at your legs. It is really practical in here. You get wireless charger, get cup holders in the dashboard, get storage space up there. The seats are actually really quite comfortable, even though they are still manually adjusting. You have a full drive selector here that's electronic. If you want to turn on your 4x4 stuff, it's all in the display. It is a much, much nicer interior. Not to mention you get things like a reverse camera thanks to it having an integrated smart hitch or whatever they call it. Essentially, they've been able to engineer into the chassis. Oh my God, it's really raining. Check out this view.
We picked a great day. We picked a very good day.
The poor camera.
The poor camera, yeah.
But it is just so much nicer on the interior. I'm not even going to harp on about it anymore. Yeah. This absolutely, again, demolishes the Land Cruiser 70 Series, including the back seats. So
it's like Jetsons versus Flintstones.
a little bit. A little bit. Interior Ford Ranger.
Yeah, clearly.
Now, everyone was extremely upset when they cut out the V8 from the Land Cruiser 70 Series. To be fair, on paper, that seriously was one of the most under-stressed engines in the world, which was great for reliability, but for driving experience, it really wasn't that great. They then changed it to this and deleted the V8. So this is the 2.8 litre four-cylinder turbo diesel engine. It's shared in so many Toyota products, which is really to its benefit, like the Fortuner, like the HiLux, the Prado. This thing puts out 150 kilowatt of power, 500 newton meters of torque. When they put it into the Land Cruiser 70 Series, they did upgrade things like the cooling, but it is still very similar really to the engine before. But it is a fantastic engine. This thing is mega reliable. You can take it pretty much anywhere. You will get parts for it. It has been around for a long time, which brings us naturally to the Ford Ranger V6. Now, they just killed the bi-turbo engine. We don't know why. There's probably two big reasons that they did. One is emissions. With emissions coming in, it just was a bit of a dirty engine and they were going to get fined a lot. But two, that bi-turbo was known for chewing up its belts, just how it was.
Yeah.
The V6 though is actually a far more reliable engine versus that 2-litre bi-turbo engine. So I think it's a great fitting for this thing. They did have to reduce the power outputs of it though to 154 kilowatt. That's about 30 kilowatt less than what you're getting in a regular Ranger, plus the addition of AdBlue, and that is so it can meet Euro 6 emissions, which does kind of suck. This thing does feel quite underpowered, as you'll see when we take this thing on the road. It's also paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission. That's versus the 6-speed Aisin unit. Again, a very tried and tested unit inside of the Toyota Land Cruiser. And the transmissions of these have also had on occasion issues. Really, time will tell. I cannot stand here and be like, this is going to be a very unreliable engine versus the Toyota Land Cruiser 70 Series. We'll find that out in about 5 years' time. But this V6 engine, especially now that it is detuned, it is less stressed. Frankly, it's probably going to be okay or fine. And also the cooling for the engine has been increased by 25%. So when you are at that 8-ton GCM limit, this thing apparently can still stay really cool despite terrible conditions.
So it should be very understressed.
Should be understressed. However, another thing to keep in mind is that even though this has 100 newton meters more torque, it weighs significantly more, about 400 kilos more versus the Land Cruiser 70 Series, but also power and torque are actually available lower in the rev range for the Land Cruiser 70 Series. So for this win, particularly for the proven reliability, for the fact that it just feels like a better powertrain, frankly.
More responsive, yeah.
More responsive. The win for this is going to the Land Cruiser 70 Series. Let us know what you think down in the comment section below about that. That's going to start some fights.
Alrighty, Daddy Jacob. Bro, we're getting started on the hardcore stuff. Let's put this thing into neutral. You have to basically be Arnold Schwarzenegger. Let's put this in 4-range, 4-low.
Well, we got it in 4-low, which is good. Let's lock the rear and front diff for this. Now,
probably don't need to.
No, but to be fair, you can independently lock the front and rear diff, but you can't do it in this, Didn't sound great, did it?
No. Struggling to engage that rear diff.
Come on.
This is weird.
There should be no reason we can't lock that.
One eternity later.
Well, that's kind of bullshit. we can't lock the rear diff.
Okay, for whatever reason, the rear diff will not lock, no matter what we do. So anyway, we have a front lock diff, but not a rear lock diff, which is strange because you can't lock the front diff without the rear diff in lock.
Yeah, well, we found a way to, I guess.
Anyway, let's go up this. This is pretty gnarly. So the thing about the Land Cruiser 70 Series, the thing about the Land Cruiser 70 Series, like I said, it's got live axles, front and rear, but also the rear trails the front, and I'm feeling that right as we speak.
Yeah.
All right, the rear diff is finally locked.
Thank God.
But it just went up that so easily. We almost lost the Jimny.
We almost died in the Jimny. But
In that
this
same
thing,
spot.
I almost fell asleep. I'm that bored, you know?
All right, first
Should we
test.
go down there?
Definitely. That is a recipe for death.
All right, first test, pass.
First test passed. And I gotta say,
I mean, it kind of failed a little bit because it wouldn't lock the rear diff.
well, it did inevitably.
It did inevitably. That's the main thing, right?
It took its sweet, sweet time.
Just like a Land Cruiser should.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's turn off the front and rear diff now.
You can hear that.
It does not like to drive with it on, which is fair. I wouldn't like to either if I was the car.
It's not turning off the rear diff.
Are you joking?
It's like, oh, you've got me on now. You're not going to turn me off.
It's not even trying. It's not even flashing. There you go.
There you go.
All right, it's got a temperamental rear
I feel like
differential.
the Land Cruiser does everything in its own speed, you know? It's like I'm 40, 50 years old. I do what I want. Now we've got a really gnarly water crossing.
So this is our low water crossing. It's probably only like 300
mil?
Yeah, something
I
like
hope
that.
it's less than 300 mil because we did the Jimny in it.
It has been pissing
Oh,
down
God.
with rain.
Oh.
Oh. See,
Dude.
this is where you notice the rear is not in the tracks at the front because
Yeah.
that back end was just kind of slipping and sliding around.
But that was definitely a lot deeper than last time we did it because it's been pissing down. So now that the tyres are sufficiently wet and muddy,
All right, well, let's line it up straight before we attempt anything.
okay.
This is becoming worse and worse. All
I
right,
feel like people have started coming here.
all right, front diff is engaged, rear diff, it's taking its time.
Oh no, it's engaged.
Oh, finally. So this is one of the gnarlier rock crawling here.
Well, it's it doesn't really seem to be struggling at all though.
No.
You know? Which is kind of what you'd expect.
There are no like drive modes. There's a power and haul, but we're obviously not going to be using that when low range. But it is genuinely
So easy.
so easy.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway of the Land Cruiser 70 Series. It is one of the best off-roaders of all time, and like this, which typically most cars, my Jack T9, Suzuki Jimny, have really struggled on.
Yeah.
This is just, it's just walking over. What the f***, man?
I feel like it's whistling to itself, you know? It's just like, I'm having a good time.
That was supposed to be a test.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was another pass, I guess.
All right, now we're going to test the angles of this thing. So it's got an approach angle of 33 degrees, which is fine over this. It's got a ramp breakover angle of just 23 degrees.
Not great.
Which is not great.
Oh, we're not?
No, we're not bottoming out, and a departure angle of 27 degrees. It does have an incredibly good ground clearance
Yeah.
of 300 millimeters. So this is really where we're going to test out
The approach angle? Oh, yeah,
ramp
baby.
breakover. It's insane.
This thing's a rock crawler.
It's just insane what this thing is doing.
I love it.
Oh, hang on, we've got to turn the disc before we turn. This thing can't turn with the disc lock.
It already has a terrible turning circle as it is. You lock the diffs, just makes it worse. That rear diff is being very, very stubborn.
It's a very stubborn rear diff.
So that was easy. Super easy.
I'm just shocked how easily this is doing it all, because literally in the Jimny last week, and we thought we were going to die in half those exact situations.
I mean, if you want to have like a gnarly off-roading experience, get a Jimny. Don't get a Land Cruiser.
and it wasn't even wet. It wasn't even
Because
wet.
the Jimny makes everything feel 10 times scarier. Whereas this is just, it's honestly so easy.
So I think we need to get Daddy Jacob out of the car.
Am I going to have to stick test this, bro?
I'm a bit worried. So this is usually about 600 mil of depth, but we're going to get awfully close to that 700 mil here.
You can kind of tell it's a lot deeper because the water's gone all the way up to the
To the
sides.
banks. All right, yeah, can you...
God, okay. I'm gonna have to find a big stick.
And there's two.
Oh, wait. This wasn't even the water crossing before.
This isn't the proper water crossing.
Should we at least cross this
Yeah,
and then go to the next one?
just in case, I will lock the diffs.
Please don't get us stuck.
What are their groans?
The sounds are just comical.
All right, I hope this thing is water sealed. All right,
We've got a snorkel.
this is fine.
This is fine. It's
This
just
is
the
okay.
next bit that's a bit concerning. Okay.
All right, I need you to get out and check.
I'm searching for a stick. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Oh God. Stick of test. testosterone. That seems all right.
That seems okay. Can you put it more in the center?
It's not bad.
All right, let's go.
Which part do you reckon is the deepest?
We'll find out.
With our luck, I just tested the wrong areas. There might be really deep tracks. Oh, come on.
This is pretty fun.
Come on.
I can hear the water lapping at the doors, to be fair, but hey, that was super easy.
It's a puddle to the Land Cruiser.
Man, all right, let's go. Our final test here,
A really steep incline.
which is a very steep incline. That's
Probably like 30-something degrees.
nice and rocky. I think the fact that it's on these tires, I think the fact it's a bloody Land Cruiser, it really will just go absolutely anywhere.
I mean, what more can you say? It's been tested over decades.
All right, I'm really impressed. Let's get in the Ford Ranger Super Duty.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, Daddy Jacob.
I'm expecting this to be, honestly, so easy.
So this is permanent four-wheel drive, unlike the Land Cruiser 70 Series, which is rear-wheel drive until you put it in four-wheel drive. However, we're going to do the exact same setup. So put the car in neutral,
Or low.
put it in low.
That engages a lot quicker.
Let's pull up our off-road menu here. Let's lock our rear diff and front diff. Wow, it just locked.
Done. No need to roll backwards and forwards.
So let's see how this goes. It has a wider track width, which already will help it. However, its biggest drawback versus the Land Cruiser 70 Series, it's actually got independent front suspension and a live axle rear. So,
Ooh. So not a live axle at the front like the 70 Series.
exactly. So the downside of that is that both wheels could potentially be off the ground. Oh, it is wet now, to be fair.
But this is the test that would test that, and it did completely fine. In fact, I
honestly,
would say that was easier than the Land Cruiser.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Wow, that was like, I just like, especially now that you've thrown in the variable of the fact it's wet.
Yeah, it's wetter. Yeah. And there was like puddles
crazy.
and stuff there.
Right.
It didn't even scramble one bit.
So let's unlock the front and rear diff. Now, the other deficit is technically it is 3 millimeters lower.
Chuck it out.
299 millimeters.
It's a write-off.
What do you think you are? Huh?
Yeah, what do you think? Like, you're a Super Duty, that gives you the right to be lower.
Oh, and just a little correction. It's the front axle of a Ford Ranger.
Yeah,
of
not
a
the front,
Ford Transit.
Not the front diff.
Super. So,
You silly boy.
what's wrong with me?
All right.
I gotta say,
It's got the
man,
rear axle off a jumbo, of a Bronco Raptor.
it's already way more comfortable off-road.
Much more comfortable. I feel like it's just cushioning, and we haven't let any air out of the tires on either car. I'm glad we have a sealed snorkel because the water is going to be a lot higher.
So, remember how we were kind of fishtailing inside of the 70 Series? That felt way more stable.
Yeah, and you kind of messed up the angle a bit
I did.
as well, and it didn't even matter.
I got sucked into the track, but
Yeah.
it really didn't matter. Man,
Easy.
Man, I'm really impressed by how this is going. It shouldn't be this good.
Yep, and the track conditions are far worse than earlier.
How about we don't even lock the diffs? Let's just put this thing
In auto,
into
just off-road mode.
rock crawl. So that does change some things, like it locks the rear diff automatically. It also pulls up this cool little display here so we can see directly in front of us. I mean, technology that the 70 Series could only hope for. So,
Oh, okay.
oh,
A little bit of slippage there, but that's to be expected. It's very muddy now.
we haven't locked the front diff, like we've said. Man, it's just crazy how stable this thing is.
And it really does have that like crawling feel, how it's just kind of crawling over the rocks.
So it does dull your throttle response, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what's getting us up here, but I'm not going to say like the 70 Series was demolished there in any way, because the 70 Series did an incredible job too.
I agree.
But that was just, it's just so easy, and
Yeah.
we've added in the variable of it being wet.
Really wet. Really, really wet.
Yeah,
Like there's water running down like a river.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
All right, so now in terms of angles, this thing has an approach angle of 36 degrees, a ramp breakover angle of
26 degrees.
26 degrees, and a departure angle of 29 degrees, but it's just, yeah. I think with the ground clearance being so high, it just doesn't even matter. It's almost like 50% higher than a regular Ranger.
Is that just because of the all-terrain tires?
Oh, that would help, but it's
Yeah.
everything, man.
Oh, dude, that was amazing.
It's not even struggling, and we've only locked the rear diff, and also
Yeah.
we can drive around with the rear diff locked.
That's true. I mean, we can't take that corner, obviously, but almost.
Let's unlock it so we don't damage anything, but still, that is better. It is just better. It might not be as simple mechanically, but you can't deny that all of these features just come together and make something insane.
I have to say, man, I'm pretty impressed, and this is a way more comfy than in the Land Cruiser.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's another thing. So over the bonnet visibility is not incredible in either of these vehicles, but it's probably worse here in the Ranger Super Duty. But the reality is we can see right in front of us exactly what's going on.
That's true. But I mean, in the Land Cruiser 70 series, the bonnet shape is such that you can just place it so well.
Let's press this.
Trail assist?
This is trail turn assist. So it locks, it breaks the inside wheel to help us get around, because otherwise we would have to back up there, which is pretty crazy.
That is very cool. Oh, that is amazing.
So we're gonna go water wade right now, back in the same spot. We know that it's not gonna drown the 70 series, so I don't think it's gonna drown this. Because like we said, 850 millimeters of water wading depth, which is huge, it's class leading.
Yeah, it's like over the wheels.
So yeah, obviously through this, it is having no issues.
You'd probably want to turn off your parking sensors.
Which you can easily do, that's good. And then of course, we have our steep hill. I mean, that went through it with literally no issues, did it?
Genuinely walk in the park.
What if we turn on our cruise control?
Oh.
Our trail control.
Off we go. Oh, golly. Well, the tyres are definitely wet.
So it's keeping us at 5.5 kilometers per hour, so quite specific. We can speed it up or slow it down as we wish.
Whoa.
Let's get it up to 8 kilometers, and it will keep us there as off-road cruise control.
That's pretty quick for this kind of hill. So, I mean, I feel like it's kind of like on easy mode, you know what I mean?
The Land Cruiser did an incredibly good job, but this has done a better job.
I agree. It wins.
Let's drive it on road.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, friend. We need to launch the goddamn Land Cruiser.
It better be quicker than the other Land Cruiser that we launched that was really slow. I can't remember which one, but it better be quicker.
By the way, if you are buying any car and you don't want to be an idiot, and let's be honest, no one wants to be an idiot.
Exactly. Who would want that?
Use CarSauce Buy. We have a dedicated team of car buyers who go out there, we literally fight dealers on your behalf. We have a smart back end to get you the best deals possible. Trust me, join thousands of Aussies, scan the QR code on your screen, just Google CarSauce Buy.
Just save money, basically.
We will get you the best deals possible. Daddy Jacob, let's launch it.
I'm so ready.
Gotta put it in power and haul mode
We're gonna haul ass. Let's do this.
All right, fist me good. Here we go.
It's a bit wet.
Brake boosting a little bit.
It's gonna spin up.
Oh, that was good.
Good grip.
I'm good at launching. I'm so good, don't you fall.
Oh no.
Don't you fall.
Keep it right there.
This thing feels like quite torquey, quite fast.
This is very peppy. What was that?
Ooh, okay. 0 to 100 in 11.19 seconds. Dude, that's so much faster than the V8.
Yeah, I think the V8 was like 13 or 14 seconds.
That's fast.
Yeah,
For
that's
this
not
thing,
bad.
That's fast.
Okay.
All right, let's launch the Ranger.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, let's launch the Ranger Pooper Duty.
How dare you?
Reporting for poop.
How dare you? First of all, they worked really hard on this, bro.
Fist me good. I have low hopes.
I actually think it'll be okay, but we'll see.
All-wheel drive? Four-wheel drive?
That was a decent launch.
Good torque.
Good grip off the line.
It's just...
Oh yeah, it's actually dying in the arse.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay, come on.
What's going on?
90 kilometers?
It's gone. Oh, okay. You know what? It wasn't as bad as what you thought.
No, I thought it would be, like, honestly, 14 or 15 seconds. 0 to 100 in 12.71 seconds. So the Land Cruiser actually wins by about...
It actually does.
By about 15 to 20%.
It's actually significantly faster. I'm kind of shocked by that. But there you go.
So the winner for the launch, 100% the Land Cruiser. I can't believe I'm saying that. That is blowing my mind. But anyway.
Imagine losing to a Land Cruiser Ford.
Alrighty, friend.
Look,
driving.
It's a Land Cruiser.
The Land Cruiser. Do you know what? Getting back into this, and maybe because it's a little bit lighter weight, so I pull on my manual wipers.
Yeah.
It feels quite good with the 4-cylinder and the auto.
I agree, actually.
This 6-speed automatic transmission is genuinely a sweet pairing for this engine. The 5-speed manual that you can get is not great.
No.
Okay? It's just not. And if you like it, then you're wrong.
Are you enjoying that steering feel?
She's heavy.
It's a bit of a workout going for a drive in a Land Cruiser.
It really is. But I will say it's comfortable without any weight in the back, completely unladen.
Yeah.
This thing,
it's not bouncing around, it's not jittering, it's kind of composed.
It rides quite well.
Yeah.
The handling is extremely vague, dude. Like,
we're going straight. Yeah. It's like steering a boat.
Yet it's still heavy. So it's hydraulic without much assistance, if any at all. It is just not great. Especially if you're like doing big kilometers. It's a tiring car to drive.
I will say though, on the freeway, it's fine. Just for cruising, where you don't need to steer.
No, it's
fine.
loud though.
Yeah.
It's raucous.
You get a lot of wind noise. It is a boxy shape, so you get a lot of shear.
Yeah. We are jumping around the road a little bit, but these are bad roads, to be fair. I've got to be honest with you, man. I'm kind of impressed by how this thing drives. Would I buy one over any other ute? No. For its driving capabilities, it is certainly not that. But I think that there are, honestly, more jittery, worse vehicles out there, which I was not in any way expecting. You know?
No, I agree. I mean, like looking at this thing, you'd kind of expect it to ride like something from the 70s, but it doesn't. It actually holds its own very well.
It's more like the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
Potentially even the
90s.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
The other thing as well is actually just how fuel efficient this thing is. 12.4 litres per 100 kilometres is what this thing is getting. For a big 2.2 tonne vehicle, I'm actually quite impressed with it.
It could be a lot worse.
Could be a lot worse.
I mean, the V8 would be a lot worse.
100%.
Yeah.
With less power, less torque. When you put your foot down,
It's actually got some, like, get up and go.
it truly does.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Daddy Jacob.
This feels right.
Driving the Ford Ranger Super Duty immediately. It's about 3,000 times better sprung.
It's like we've just moved a generational, maybe multi-generational leap forward.
Yeah. The thing about the Ranger, though, is it was always at the top of its game. They had a lot to potentially up by going to this Super Duty because it needs to be able to bloody have a payload of 2 tons. Having said that, the Ford engineers have worked their magic. This thing is extremely comfortable on the road. In fact, a Kia Tasman rides worse.
I don't disagree, but that's still a bold statement.
It's a bold statement. It is so good. I thought it would be terrible. Because, like, physics, right? If it's got almost double the payload of the next ute, surely its springs would just be horrible.
Dude, we are sitting in a ute that has an 8-ton GCM, and
That's
we're like,
insane.
and this road is not good.
Look at this. Turn a corner. Yeah, you got a bit of body roll. It's actually not that terrible.
I mean, come on.
It's so
Dynamically,
much worse.
it's great.
Dynamically, it is great. It is competent. The worst thing about this is genuinely its drivetrain. It just feels slow.
Sluggish, yeah.
Especially once you're above like 60 kilometers an hour. It does feel like it's truly struggling for power. But the handling, man.
Yeah, man.
It's absurdly good.
It's weirdly good. Like, the chassis is solid as. You can feel it. It's rigid. I don't know, man.
So I think versus Land Cruiser 70 Series, it genuinely
It's the clear winner
just
for on-road driving.
blows it out of the water.
Yeah.
So yeah, the winner for driving, it's the Super Duty.
It's got to be.
Alrighty guys, final thoughts now. Who is the winner, the Toyota Land Cruiser 70 Series or the Ford Ranger Super Duty? Well, I wasn't actually expecting the Land Cruiser 70 Series to hold up as well as it did, but there is absolutely no doubt that the Ford Ranger Super Duty is the more capable vehicle, especially directly from factory. Like, you could spend $100,000 in mods, you might get close to what this can do, but frankly, what this can do is mind-blowing.
It's honestly insane, man. I'm really impressed.
That's not to say that the Land Cruiser 70 Series doesn't still have some draws. I love the fact that its engine is just so reliable, and even that 2.8 litre turbo diesel, it drives relatively well, better than I expected. But if it were my money and I was spending it, I'd buy a Ford Ranger Super Duty. Let me know in the comment section below, which one would you take, the Land Cruiser 70 Series or the Ford Ranger Super Duty? Please do leave the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel as well. We'd love to have you around. And of course, if you want to buy either of these vehicles and you want the best price possible, scan the QR code on your screen now, or just Google CarSauce Buy. A dedicated team of car buyers will run out there and get you the best deal possible. They'll punch people. Ciao for now.
Goodbye.